Hi, Dr. Ezrin here. This topic is paradigm shift to total safety. Please stay with me. At the end of this chapter, students should be able to explain the basic needs to cultivate safety in workplace, shift from old paradigm to the new one. So at least student is able to explain the old 3 E's, the new 3 E's, and the changes that is required to make sure the attitude and behavior will change accordingly. Companies may pose a strong and sincere commitment to safety, but all too often, the approach is reactive, with leaders responding to incidents, hoping to stop them from recurring. In this topic, we will learn about how safety paradigm is shifted from the 3 old E's to the new 3 E's. Starting with the introductions and the changes that is required for the paradigm shift will be explained in this topic. Promoting safe operation should not only dealing with as they happen. It's much better to anticipate and prevent incidents. Companies can know when and where the next incident is likely to occur. They can know which hazards deserve more attention than others, and they can involve their workers, empowering them to be proactive in anticipating and avoiding hazards. By implementing a BBS program, organization can directly involve employees in injury prevention and encourage them to assume more responsibility for workplace safety. The issue is when all the safety initiatives seems not impactful anymore. This can be caused by the incident rate is now maintained and the recordable OSH-related issue prove reduced and not dropping any further. The safety personnel start to thinking what else we need to do. We do all to take care safety, without knowing that the fact and the figure is recorded information somehow is not accurate. In this stage, many safety personnel struggle to think more about the initiative on how to reduce incident rate further. They need to try harder, or at this time, they need to engage with their hearts and minds? If that case, are you saying that previously they worked with half-hearted? This kind of thing may create a lot of perception and conflict. So we need to really understand what can be done to ensure further progress can sustain. In the history, with the principle of injury prevention was about to control the excess energy, in 1986, William Haden's theory is developed. Injury control is the solution for large-scale and long-term reduction of injury rate. William Haden was implemented his theory in automobile industry, which is produced first automobile safety standard. Then William Haden also came out with the idea to develop personal protective equipment, which is after that produced first standard and policy for PPE usage. At that time, William is trying to manage the risk by reduce the exposure, without taking into consideration about the complexity and diversity of human beings. To promote workplace safety, a variety of safety programs with various results are being used. With most traditional programs, management assumes the principle of responsibility to ensure safety in the workplace is most suitable. Also, many traditional safety programs tend to focus on what employees are doing wrong instead of encouraging them by reinforcing positive work behavior. In relation to William Haden's theory, the 3 E's, which is engineering, education, and enforcement, is introduced traditionally. Engineering became dominant issue in occupational safety and health for equipment, environment, and protective devices. When engineering intervention is installed or in place, there is a need to educate people to use it. To ensure safe work practices, they enforce compliance. by compliance system, and the end was normally a punishment was believed will be the result in incident reduction rate will be reduced. However, the traditional 3Es was harsh and result in safety at the workplace was had to be improvised. The new 3Es are introduced. There are ergonomic, empowerment, and the last one is evaluation. Ergonomics is the process of designing and arranging workplaces, products, and systems so that they fit the people who use them. Aims to learn about the human ability and limitation also considered as ergonomics. And then with the kind of information will be applied to improve human interaction with product, system, and environment. By considering those relationship and interaction, human behavior can be easily adjusted and manipulated. The second new E is empowerment. The word enforcement sounds like strict punishment approach. To add, feeling empowered means the individual is ready or activated to work towards achieving a given goal. Rather than enforced, empowered is more powerful in achieving a safety goal. The last new E is evaluation. In the BBS, we encourage to have consistent evaluation process. The evaluation process need to consist of constructive feedback. Previous studies had shown that constructive feedback with a good evaluation process will result in improved empowerment of workers. So we come into the end of the three new E's: ergonomic, empowerment, and also evaluations. Okay, to ensure the three new E's is effectively installed or in place in the organization, it requires new approaches, new principles, and new procedures. With the new paradigm, we believe that it will result in different behavior and also the attitude. 10 basic changes in total safety culture is about 10 basic changes in belief, attitude, or perception that are needed to develop the ultimate total safety culture. The first one is the ongoing processes involved in developing a total safety culture need to be supported from the top but driven from the bottom. It must be a corporate responsibility. A strong management commitment towards maintaining and improving behavioral safety witnesses in the regular act of individuals at the management level. It shouldn't also focus on the outcome anymore. It is behavior focused. It's based on solid principle about engaging, motivating, assisting, reinforcing, and sustaining safe behavior. Aims to understand causes of incident and near misses and correct them through the behavior of relevant people. For example, reducing hazard often require behavior change of managers and frontline workers, and equipment redesign involve behavior change of engineer. And the next is bottom-up approach, where the primary attention is directed at specific safety-related behavior that are typically performed by frontline employees. Changes in the frontline safety behavior will improve safety performance and over time diffuse into the organization to become culture. All level of employee are willing and able to act on their sense of responsibility. They can go beyond the call of duty. Respectful, trusting, open communication between management and employees group about all safety, all aspects in safety in the workplace. Next, the changes is about the systemic approach. Take a systemic approach, examining the motivation underlying behavior in order to increase safe behavior. The fact-finding, a strong, consistent, timely reaction to the discovery of unsafe act, whether they result in injury or not. Safety incidents are viewed as an opportunity to learn and improve. Proactive is also the changes that is required in the development of the total safety culture, which is an open feedback-rich culture among employees, which enable employees to consistently learn and grow. Target at continuous improvement is an ongoing effort, not once-off provision, but a new way of working that the safety leader must continually promote for sustainable and positive results. And the last one is that this is a very, very important, which is individual hold safety as a value, not just a priority, which later on the priority somehow we can shift to the up and to the down. In this class, the major limitation of BBS also is explained, which is BBS is not easy to be, to be sustained in the workplace because it needs seriously for continuous monitoring and reinforcement of safe work behavior. The need to develop different type of reinforcement for different employees differently because of the different employees needs different attention and maybe have different strength and also the limitations. Need to develop a time frame for continuous administration of reinforcement. So they must be a systematic and must be someone who able to take care of the system that is developed. Difficult to implement if employees don't work with the same people on a regular basis, meaning that there are a lot of transition and from one department to another department. So if that the case, BBS is difficult to be successful. Difficult to change ingrained attitude and behavior, and limited success also is due to the high turnover. After all the explanations, need to remember or bear in the mind is communication is most important thing in order to ensure the BBS program is success. Effective communication is the cornerstone of a healthy organizational safety culture. Research has shown that organizations with better safety cultures and performance tends to have employees who regularly communicate with each other in an open, respectful manner. Safe operations require the employees have all the information they need to work within the safety programs. It is important to test how well information is communicated to the employees and how well they are able to apply it. Questions to assess safety communication and training include: 1. Are employees performing according to formal and informal communication program? And number 2, is there a formal and informal communication program that is assessed or exercised in the place? As the conclusion, the old theory as a fundamental must be remain in place. There is no wrong to take a look at to the old theory, but improvement is needed so that the installed base is strengthened. To have different or improved result, all practices also require different approach.